How's it going? My name's Andrew Knuth, and I want to start off by apologizing for filming this on a webcam. I understand the digital recorder is the preferred method. Unfortunately, I don't necessarily have the funds to get one of those right now. I mean, looking around, I don't really have a lot here in my apartment, but something that everybody notices when they come to my place is definitely my prized possession. This little guy, Buster. Buster is a 2-year-old border collie. He is mixed with a whole bunch of other stuff, but none of that has been identified yet. Obviously, his most prominent trait is the border collie, though. He is 2 years old, like I said, and I've had him since he was 6 weeks old. And this boy showed me immediately out the gate how smart he is. In fact, he was house trained by his first month of being at my place, and then the month after that, he had his first jailbreak incident. When I came home from work one day and my room was torn to pieces. Digging in all of the closets, all of the underneath my bed, everything, the sheets were torn off the bed because somebody found a way to get out of the crate. Come on, buddy, calm down. Now, even though he has his troubled spots, he does enjoy watching a lot of sports with me. As my discussions proved earlier, that is one of my favorite things to do, and he sits there right next to me and watches with me. One of his favorite sports to watch, though, is hockey. He doesn't necessarily have a favorite team, unfortunately. We're still working on that, right? Go Jets, go? Anything? But he does cheer for the home team. Mainly, I believe, because whenever a home team scores, the horn goes off, and he decides to howl with them. It's pretty entertaining, but the neighbors don't necessarily like it so much. Just to prove how smart he is, though, I should tell you a story about when he was about 1.5 years old. There was a pond probably about 2 or 3 blocks from my apartment, and we were going for a walk one day, and he saw one of his arch rivals, a duck. Well, there's a couple ducks, actually, and they were all decided to go for a swim on the pond one day. Well, Buster immediately ran up to the edge of the pond, knew I wasn't going to let him on there. So what he does is he sits next to me, and as you've seen so far, he starts pawing at my leg. The reason he was doing that is because I keep a tennis ball in my pocket whenever we go on walks, just for an impromptu game of fetch. So once he started pawing at the ball, I realized he actually wants to go play. So I sit him and face him away from the pond. I take the leash off of him because I wasn't thinking well that day, and I decide to throw the tennis ball. And as I'm throwing the tennis ball, I hear a splash behind me. Sure enough, I turn around and there's my border collie swimming towards a flock of ducks. It definitely was pretty embarrassing, and it took about 10-15 minutes to get him out of that water. Luckily, though, about 3-4 hours of scrubbing and washing and bathing after that, we were able to get that pond smell out of him as well. Not only is he a smart dog, but he's also loving, energetic, protective, but very friendly. Whenever people come over to my apartment, one of the first things they say is about how he is attached to my hip. He immediately comes and greets them at the door, not being aggressive, not being nosy, but definitely just comes in just to introduce himself. In fact, that's one of his favorite tricks. Good boy, good boy. Now, all in all, I believe these are all traits that that not only comes through his breed, but is also what I've instilled upon him while raising him over these past 2 years. He definitely decides to do whatever he wants, apparently, whenever he would like to. But for the time being, he definitely is one of the most loyal and happiest dogs I've ever met in my entire life. So before he does wander off, though, I should end in closing and say it's time for me to go for a walk. And, well, at least that's what he's telling me. I do appreciate your time, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Thank you.